wala pong kinalaman ang Pangulo at wala siyang natanggap na 25 billion, very good nga raw siya, sabi ni Yusek Alaybar. NEP pa lang, katakot-takot na po yung naka-insert. But Mr. President, let me deviate a little, related din ito sa ating unused appropriations. Gusto ko lang ibahagi sa atin yung nangyari do sa, and this affects our economy, even yung investor confidence. You know, I have it on good information that yung announcement na ginawa, yung statement na ginawa ni ex-Congressman Saldico, na nagbintang siya na 100 billion, sinasabi niya na utos daw ng Pangulo na isingit sa BICAM. Your Honor and I both know that the 100 billion, and we went over, I know na, both of us went through the list independently or separately. And you and I agree na totoo yung listahan ng 100 billion pesos. Talaga nasingit sa BICAM. But yung sinasabi ni Saldico on social media as posted, na nag-deliver siya ng 25 billion representing the 25% commission di umano para kay Presidente, that I will attest na hindi totoo. Yun talaga absolutely untrue or false. Untrue or completely false. Why? Because, you know, last Sunday, I received a call from the camp of former Undersecretary Roberto Bernardo. Ang sinasabi niya, noong nakita niya si Saldico sa social media na nagsasabing merong 100 billion di umano inutos ng Pangulo na isingit sa BICAM, napag-alaman ko from Undersecretary Bernardo na may mga tao sa Malacanang, not the President, not authorized by the President, who misrepresented him. I will name some of them. Undersecretary Adrian Bersamin. He name-dropped the President, making Saldico believe na utos ng Pangulo na ipasok sa BICAM yung insertions na 100 billion. Now, Yusek Traigib Olaybar. Other personalities. Anyway, regarding the 100 billion, binrake down, kasi nireview niyo yung kanyang notes. This is all related even to the appointment of Secretary Recto to be the Executive Secretary. As he is now the acting, I guess acting kasi hindi naman pwede magbigay ng ad interim appointment because Congress is not in recess, di ba? So, okay. Anyway, ang sabi niya sa akin, hindi po totoo yan, Mr. Senator. Kasi ang breakdown ng 100 billion, 81 billion, yun yung na-assign sa DPWH. Yung 29 billion, other agencies. Hindi niya alam. Out of the 81 billion or out of the 100 billion, yung sa 81 billion, 52 billion, siya ang personal na nag-handle. Ako po nag-handle nun. Nasa notes niya, ito yung kanyang table, binigay niya ako ng kopya. 51.01, I think almost 52 billion. Anyway, so 52 billion, yun yung personal hinandle niya. And talagang sabi niya, naghatid ako ng pera as kickback. But not to the President, but to Yusek Olaybar. And sabi niya, ang pagkaalam niya, kasama si Yusek Adrian Bersamin. 8 billion pesos, Mr. President, in at least 10 deliveries. The modus that yung arrangement nila is, may tigisa silang armored van. May armored van si Yusek Olaybar, may armored van siya, magpapark sa basement ng Diamond Hotel, darating yung van driven by Olaybar, and possibly, sabi niya, hindi siya sigurado, and possibly along with Adrian Bersamin. Bakante yung armored van, ipapark, idadrive yung isang van na puno ng pera. Ranging from 800 million hanggang 2 billion. Umabot ng 2 billion only because sometime in March, yung kanyang date na sinasabi from, I think, March hanggang April, yung delivery. Very good nga raw siya, sabi ni Yusek Alaybar, kasi nakakapag-deliver. Ang biggest kasi naipon, because March 11, natatandaan niya, inaapuran niya na si Undersecretary Olaybar, nakunin na kasi napupuno na at saka matagal na nakapark. Ang sabi niya, sabi ni Olaybar sa kanya, wag muna kasi magulo ngayon dahil inaaresto si dating Pangulong Duterte. So naipon yung laman ng van, sabi niya, mga 2 billion pesos. That was the single largest or biggest delivery that he made to Olaybar. Kung saan napunta, hindi natin alam. But personally, he knows or he knew that, kasi personally, nagpapalit sila, no? Amounting to 8 billion pesos. 1 billion, he delivered to Secretary Bonoan. So that's 9 billion. Yung 8 billion was representative of 16% of the 81 billion or 82 billion. Ang usapan daw nila initially was 15%, Mr. President. Tumawad pa raw ng 1% si Olaybar, pero suspecha niya, natatawa raw siya dahil para sa sarili na lang ni Olaybar yung additional 1%. Kaya umabot siya ng 16%. 1 billion to Secretary Bonoan. Siya mismo nagbigay. So he was asking for my advice. Ang sabi ko sa kanya, can you put it in your own handwriting? And I'll see to it that it will reach the President. No. Isipan mo. But I took notes. When he was narrating what he was about to write down, I was taking notes together with my 2 lawyers. He was also with his lawyer. So, and that happened. The President received the handwritten narration. No? Ang sabi niya nga rito, eto, meron akong notes dito eh. Sabi niya, last quarter ng 2025, most likely during the last days of October or early November 2020, ano to? Last quarter. Yusek Traigib requested for list of projects. Siya nagpe-prepare eh. Of course, along with Yusek Cabral, kasi si Undersecretary Cabral naman, ang tinatas ni Secretary Bonoan na mag-prepare ng listahan. Ito nga yung awkward, Mr. President, and we want to correct this. Ano? Bakit nauna yung funding saka palang maghahanap ng items? Hindi po ba dapat may items nang galing sa RDC bago po podohan? Complete with program report, complete with planning. Pero ito po, nauna pa yung pagpopondo saka palang hahanapan ng items na ililista sa NEP. Remember, bukod pa po ito, dahil ito, gaan na ito eh, BICAM na ito eh. And mind you, even during the NEP, anyway, mamaya ko na itackle yun. Ito yung sinabi niya rito. No? Ito, sinabi niya na si Traigib Olaybar prevented him from disclosing details on the 52 billion to Secretary Bonoan. Ayaw pasabi raw, Mr. President. Tapos, sinabihan siya ni Yusek Traigib Olaybar na si Secretary Bonoan asked Executive Secretary Bersamin several times, sino ba magpapacilitate itong 52 billion? Of course, isasama sa BICAM, paano ito re-release? Sino magpapacilitate? Ang sagot ni ES Bersamin sa kanya, we will take care of it. Sila na raw ang bahala kung paano ayusin yung 52 billion. Now, I'm not defending the President, Mr. President, but you know, in fairness to him, yung list of projects, yung 100 billion, initially naka-FLR lahat yun eh. Pinapatrack ko ngayon sa aking staff kung ilan yung na-release out of the items on FLR or PISARO for issuance of SARO. Hindi pa namin alam. But initially, kasama sa nabito do sa 194 billion ng ating Pangulo, 1.15 billion pesos worth of projects. Andito yung listahan ng projects. Nilista rin ng, nakita ng mga staff ko ito, pero may listahan din si Bernardo nito. Kung alam ni Pangulo at siya nag-utos na mag-insert ng 100 billion sa GAA, sa BICAM, bakit niya ibibito? Yan din ang observation ni Your Honor, di ba? Sabi niyo rin, because you also examine. While you were examining respecting the 2025 GAA, we were also busy inspecting. No, hindi naman tayo po nag-coordinate, but our findings are practically the same. Di ba?
It's the same, Mr. President.
Same.
The same.
Yeah, ito yung tatlong items no, na nabito. Saldico list vetoed items. GAA, Volume 1C, page 849. Construction of cruise port and facilities package, Puerto Princesa City, 250 million. 800, page 822. Construction of multipurpose building, Government Center, Barangay Gadani, Tayum, Abra. Page 322, construction of riverbank structure including irrigation system, integration along Polo River at Sitio Lawaan, upstream, right side, Mall Wall, Cebu, package 3, 100 million. Total, 1.15. Kung yung gusto kasi ng iba, paniwalaan natin na sa Pangulo ang nag-utos mag-insert. But it doesn't make sense to me, Mr. President. That's why I'm trying to explain this to our colleagues and to the members of the DBCC family para maliwanagan naman natin, and in the presence of the media, maliwanagan naman natin na hindi kasama ang Pangulo. Kasi, yan, common sense. Siya nag-utos, ibibito niya. Siya nag-utos, i-EFLR niya.
Interjection, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Just for clarity, the handwritten letter was given to the President yesterday.
As I think Monday, Mr. President. Yesterday.
And
At 2 p.m.
And thereafter, he asked
There
for
were resignations.
he asked for the resignation.
In this case, Mr. President, courtesy resignation is a euphemism for firing.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
You know, Mr. President, the President is a very kind-hearted person. You know, I would have suggested to the person who brought to the President or delivered to the President the handwritten narration of Mr. Bernardo. I would have suggested na tanggalin niya and then order an investigation. Otherwise, how can you insulate the President kung courtesy resignation? But that's water under the bridge because it did not happen, Mr. President. And I will still strongly suggest that an investigation is in order. Because, you cannot, just fool around and misrepresent the President of the Republic of the Philippines. No matter how kind-hearted he is, let's not take advantage. Yun po yung nakakasama ng loob. Ito pa yung aking notes, di ba? Sinabi niya, narinig niya si Saldico. Ito, I heard Saldico's statement that he delivered 25 billion to President Marcos and Speaker Romualdez, representing the commitment for the 100 billion. This could not be true because I handled the 52 billion pesos and I caused the delivery of the commitment for the 52 billion to Yusek Traigib Olaybar. Personally, Mr. President. So let this be a lesson to everyone, to all of us. Sometimes kala mo lulusot ka. Pero sooner or later, it will catch up with you. Especially if you do it habitually. Who would know that the President would include in his SONA, mahiya naman kayo? Who would know that I and my staff would work after hearing the President's message on several case studies, Oriental Mindoro, First Bulacan District. Who would know that Senator Marcoleta would call for a motu proprio investigation in the Blue Ribbon Committee? Wala po nakakaalam nito. Para rin itong mga projections, wala makakapredict. These are, unpredictable variables that could explode right in our faces, and it would be too late for those responsible to repent. Ang masama rito, Mr. President, apektado yung buong bansa eh. Naglayo ang investors. Stock market is down. Yung po yung masakit dito. So, I'm appealing to our co-workers in government. I think we've reached the point na dapat isipin natin, enough is enough. I think I have made myself clear, Mr. President, that there are persons responsible. And ngayon, back to the NEP. I don't want to steer the proverbial hornet's nest. Pero ito pa yung isang practice. Alam nyo, sinabi ko na nga ito na, and I think the distinguished sponsor will agree with me, that the 2025 GAA is the most corrupt. Lagi natin sinasabi ito. And I would like to describe it as a national budget that is corrupt to the core, from start to finish. I have a document that I have also acquired. NEP pa lang, katakot-takot na po yung naka-insert. I've seen in that document, yung ilan lang ang aking babanggitin. Secretary Bonoan, allocable ito, allocable, non-allocable. SMB Batch 1, SMB Batch 2. SMB is Secretary Manuel Bonoan. Batch 2, Batch 3. Ang binanggit lang ni Yusek Bernardo, meron siyang 5 billion a year for 3 years kay Secretary Bonoan. Kaya nagkwenta kami ni Senator Kiko Pangilinan, di ba? Na 15 times 15 kasi 15%. That's 2.25 billion. I discovered in that document, aside from SMB, meron pang SMB Batch 1, I think 18.5 billion. Then there's another SMB Batch 2. Basta ang total, 25.5 billion. He's not even a legislator, Mr. President. And many more. Nakalagay, House leadership, 143.5 billion. Of course, we also learned from the hearings na sa NEP pa lang, pag napasok, may 10% eh. And that's new to us because hindi natin alam to eh. Nalaman lang natin to sa mga hearings eh. Now, 143.5 billion. Mag-advance ng 10%. Magkano nawala sa Kaban ng Bayan? 14.35%. Write off. Nagagaling sa mga contractors. So why would the contractors advance that much kung hindi sila siguradong sila yung mangungontrata? It sucks, Mr. President, to think na ito yung nangyayari.
Mr. President.
Yes, Mr.
If I
President.
may, this might not be related to the budget, but since na pag-uusapan na rin po itong issue, paano po, and if the permission of Senator Lacson, base ho sa inyong kwento ho, sa inyong salaysay, si Yusek Trigive at ang PLLO dati, si Adrian Bersamin, nakapag-insert po ng 81 billion in the BICAM. Paano po itong dalawang tao na hindi naman po high level ang kanilang posisyon na kumbinsi ho ang mga mambabatas na mag-insert ng 81 billion pesos po sa BICAM?
Perception, Mr. President. Sinong hindi maniniwala kapag Bersamin ang nagsabi na utos ni Presidente na mag-insert kayo? Now, regarding the items, may tulong po yung DPWH. I would assume under Secretary Cabral because siya naman talaga yung nagpe-prepare ng list. Siya yung nagko-consolidate to find out baka merong redundancy, merong mga hindi viable, merong repeat projects. Siya lahat yan eh. So ito yung conspiracy, Secretary Bonoan, as far as DPWH. So yung naiiwan ng, kasi 81, so meron pang tayo ina-account na 29 billion. Iba't ibang
19.
agencies na raw yun. Probably other departments, other agencies.
Kung 81.
Kahit na ho,
19, kung 81, 19.
19. Yeah, 19 billion. Sorry.
sa pagkaalam ko ho sa mga ganitong proseso, marami mo hong nagbabantay. Andyan po yung House, andyan yung Senate, andyan yung DBM. At 81 billion at BICAM ho, napakalaking...
100 billion, Mr. President.
100
Yung
billion.
81, sa DPWH lang
Correct.
yun.
Yung 100 billion at BICAM, napakalaking movement po ang mangyayari. Bakit ho hindi na i-report ho to?
Mr. President, that's why I laud your effort na maging transparent hanggang BICAM. Nang gagawin natin ngayon, wala nang alien items na papasok outside of the House version and the Senate version. And that's a very good way forward, moving forward, na talagang hindi lang magiging simple, transparent, hindi na po pwede yung 2 tao na lamang, 3 tao, 4 na tao ang nag-uusap sa BICAM. Now, you ask me, how could it have happened? Eh, nag-uusap, ilan lang eh. Bakit hindi pwede mangyari? Siningit yung 100. Pinaratify. Alam naman po natin, pag nag-ratify tayo, or even the members of the BICAM, sa Senate lang. Sa kapal noong ating pinipirmahan, page by page or every page, magiging kontrabida kapag inyuwi mo pa yung pinapapirmahan sa atin. Mahihiya ka kasi ikaw ang hinihintay. Without reading, we would sign. But times are different now, Mr. President, and we fully trust you because of, what you have done so far. Lahat kami naniniwala na pag pinapirmahan mo sa amin yung BICAM report, assuming na member ako ng Bicameral Conference Committee ng Senate panel, and even the BICAM report for ratification, ako with you there, I will sign it without reading. But the point is, Mr. President, first, ang gusto ko lang i-emphasize, i-reiterate, wala pong kinalaman ang Pangulo at wala siyang natanggap na 25 billion at wala ring delivery si Saldico. Imposible, sabi nga ni Bernardo, imposible siya mag-deliver ng 25% kasi ako yung nag-handle, ako nag-deliver ng 8 billion. Saan kukuha ng 25 billion si Saldico? Eh yung 81 billion, by the way, yung 29 billion na kasi 81 minus 52, hindi ba? Yun daw ang nag-asikaso rin noon si Tragib Olaybar along with Secretary Bunuan and the others, rumekta na sa mga contractor, rumekta na sa mga RD, rumekta na sa mga DE. Hindi na niya napakailaman. Ang nahandle niya lang daw 52 billion pesos worth of projects ng DPWH. Kasi the rest, 19 other agencies. Out of the 81, yung remainder, Olaybar again, along with Bunuan, hindi dumaan sa kanya. That's how the syndicate works, Mr. President.
Mr. President, kino-confirm ko, hindi ho kami nag-usap ni Senator Lacson. But review ko ho yung mga projects at ganun rin po nakita namin na about 1.1 billion 150
Yeah.
ang na veto po ng Pangulo. So yun rin po yung aking nasa isipan kung ito po ay manggagaling sa kanya, bakit naman niya i-veto to? At nakita rin ho namin yung mga, may tinignan din ho, yung mga list of contractors ho doon. Kasi in-identify ho yung mga contractors. Marami ho sa contractors ay kasali rin po doon sa mga maanumalyang flood control. Nakita ho namin na nandiyan po sila Alpha and Omega General Contractor, ito po yung Diskaya. Si Wawaw Builders, nandiyan rin po. Si Legacy Construction na pinatawag natin dito, QM Builders. So ang ibig sabihin nitong mga contractors na nakita natin sa flood control, present rin dito sa 81 billion worth of projects. So, well, thank you, Senator Lacson, for your very eagle-eyed analysis on this matter. At yan rin po yung aming pag-iingatan moving forward, lalo na pagdating sa BICAM. At mentioned this many times na hindi na ho tayo papayag doon sa mga alien na projects, meaning projects na wala po sa original proposal at bigyan nilang papasok sa BICAM. I mentioned this many times dahil unang-una hindi ho na pag-usapan yan at pangalawa, masisira po yung buong budget process.
And then live stream. The
Yes,
BICAM, whether big or small, will be live stream. There will be no more small BICAM. It will be live stream, no, this budget. So Irene will no longer cry.
And I hope this, you know,
Alam
What-
niyang alam ko.
and I hope, Mr. President, what Senator Gatchalian has started can be sustained sana. Not only in the 2026 budget, sana all the way na. Kasi this is a painful lesson para sa atin lahat, Mr. President. You know, it pains me to see familiar names, some of them. The Executive Secretary is a good friend of mine, Mr. President. It pains me to mention his name. Yeah. Anyway, Mr. President, may I ask for a few minutes suspension? Natutuyo na naman yung lalamunan ko.
Yes, sir.